that you had a good New Year and you were able to celebrate in the way that you like the best. It's a little chill this morning here, so that's why I'm dressed like this. And I was thinking what I want to do with you guys this morning because I'm in a hurry, and I thought, well, very often you are in a hurry. You don't have half an hour to do all your stuff. So what do you do when you only have like 5 minutes and for whatever reason you have to warm up? Whether it's because somebody just says, okay, can you dance this? And you're like, yeah, of course I can. Or if you just are going to be rushing and you don't want to get hurt. So I thought, what's kind of the most important stuff, and so I thought we'd try that today. Just go over the most important stuff, warming up, what you need just to get moving and not injure yourself, and then we'll do a little bit of merengue, but let's do the 5-minute thing because you never know. So I'm going to put this on the timer, and then we're going to go. So if you have like something to hang on to, I think that's the best way because then you're not putting too much pressure on your body. Of course, you can do without it, but there's usually something or other to hang on to. I don't know how accurate this is, but let's say approximately 5 minutes. Okay. All right, let's go. So I'm going to hang on here, and I'm going to do my knee loosening. I don't know if you can see it through the pants, but I'm just going to get my knees moving a tiny bit because what am I thinking about now is that what's the easiest way to get injured? We've got some weak points. Knees are one of them, ankles, backs. So those are things we want to be thinking about, that we really want to make sure that we get them moving before we do something more intense. And then I'm going to be opening and closing my fingers and my toes. Even if my toes don't actually open, I'm trying to think about what it would feel like to bend open my toes at the same time. And get the blood flowing and all those little distant parts. And wiggling the wrists back and forth, flapping them up and down, and giving them a quick circle, and circling the other way. Now I'm going to move down to my feet and clarifies. Do you remember we were working on our ankles? So I'm taking my body weight and I am shifting it onto one leg to free up this one. And I'm going to be tapping my foot back and forth. But what I want is my ankle to be moving and not my whole leg. So I'm trying to feel that ankle going back and forth. Maybe do a few extras of these. And if you got something to hang on to, wiggling it up and down, this side, and putting it back down, and then shifting your weight onto the other leg, and you're going to do your tap back and forth. We'll be concentrating really just probably mostly on our lower body, because if you have to move quickly, that's what's going to keep it in this stream. The stretch next time, yes, we can absolutely do that. That's a great idea because you don't always have the time or the energy to do that really long routines. So picking it up, tapping it down. So really with stretching particularly, side to side, it's consistency. That's the most important thing. What I found is doing, say, 5 minutes 2 or 3 times a day brings you more than 1 hour once a week. So that's a really good thing to do. All right, and while we're down on there, if you remember our weight shifting exercise, we're shifting our weight forward on the balls of our feet. And I just want you to feel that your heels are kind of bouncing up and down. And coming back in your weight, leaning forward, and bouncing up and down. See, it is easier if you're hanging onto something. So, even if it's a wall, whatever it is, that's nearby. And coming back, let's do our knees. knees go right over our legs. And thanks, Hannah. Thanks. And you're tightening your legs before you start to bend them. And a few mediums. And then we're going to do our nice big knee bend. You've got this for stability. Tightening your legs and sending your knees over your feet and then pushing to the ground. And if you do these knee bends and you really are making yourself work during them, then you'll find you'll warm up pretty quickly. So that's a good one to do. And last one. Let's get our arms moving so shoulders are going up and down. Oh no! Okay. I'm gonna cheat and take one more minute because that was really short and I don't know if my timer was accurate. Maybe you can tell me. Shoulders going forward. And then I'm going to shake my head from side to side. And up and down. And just a few of these. And then I'm going to raise and lower. Raise and lower. About 4 or 5 of these. And then to the front. And you should be ready to go. So what's important if I start to move quickly, if I start to dance, that my legs, my lower body is really prepared, it's ready to carry me along, it's not going to suddenly twist over, or because it's cold, it's not ready to move. So this is just really to get yourself going, and yes, now you're ready for everything. So, but I have a little more time than this, so I did want to do a little bit of merengue. So for those of you who are just joining, we are learning merengue, and you know the steps already because you do them every day. It's right, left, 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 right, left. Except on a steady rhythm, so you're not speeding up like I just did. So we have been adding various things to that. So the most important thing is to keep your legs moving and not to stop. Whatever you're doing, you just got to keep going. Anything can happen, and you're maybe going back and forth. You can do this with a partner, you can do it on your own. And we've been turning in circles. We've been bringing our arms up and down. The important thing is to keep walking while you're doing this. We've been putting our hands on our hips, remembering that we want to keep our arms kind of like spaghetti, but our elbows are holding us up, and that lower arm is going to come in without letting that elbow sink way to the back. You just want to keep that forward, so you get more of a forward look here, so it's not sagging back like this. It's nice and happy. So we have an arm movement where we're bringing up one arm and we're putting it behind our head. So here we're actually touching our head, and in this one we are bringing that elbow in. And then we've done it with the other hand. And today what I want to do is finish this arm movement, and we're going to do it separately though. We're not going to add it to our steps yet. We're just going to do it separately when the music starts. So our arm goes up, and then this lower arm is going to sink down and go to the back of our head. As you see, my elbow is coming forward on this one. Hi, Nolan. Good morning. And my hand is just going to slide down my body. And out. So in this one, in Latin dance, we're usually keeping our arms very close and actually touching our bodies with them, because very often you're on a crowded floor, and if you do nice big broad arms, you're probably going to end up smacking into somebody. It does happen. People are very understanding, but you really want to train yourself to keep your arms in. The exception is when they're on your waist, just because it looks a little better than having them to the side. Also, it helps you if you're turning with your elbow going forward. That helps you rotate. So again, our arm is coming up, and then that lower arm, see my upper arm staying where it is, that lower arm is gonna drop down to my head. That was coming in, and then it's just gonna kind of sneak down, just going from your head until you can get it on your body again, wherever that may be up, that may be a little lower, maybe you have to drop it down some, and you slide it down, and like you're giving yourself a little push out to the side. Let's try the other arm. So your other arm is going up, and upper arm stays pretty much where it is, and that upper arm drops down. And you can do this quickly or slowly, really depending. Since we're doing merengue, we have lots of steps to do whatever it is. Let's just try and do it slowly. And then it's going to drop down and slide out to the side. And let's do one more on each, just so we know what we're doing. Coming up and keeping that upper arm in place. Just your lower arm is going to be dropping down to your head. Elbows coming in. And then sliding down back. How to relax after a long day. Oh, that's kind of an individual thing, I would say. I know a lot of people like baths, but I'm too impatient to sit still. So arm is coming up, upper arm stays in place, the lower arm is dropping down. So I like to read, but also so it's dropping down, sliding down your body, and out again. But generally, when I'm not moving, I'm sleeping. So I'd say something like that. You know, I do like to research things, and yeah, you know, I don't really have any hobbies that require fine motor skills. I did try and learn some at one point, but I wasn't quite as skillful as the gross motor. So the other thing we've been doing is, as we've been walking along, we started to turn one leg out to the side, and then just bring it back again. And flutterflies, you can turn your whole body here. In fact, that's what I'm gonna have you do as we go on. It's like your body is following that leg and coming back again. And we're gonna take as many steps as we need, because later on, we will be turning, and dance is lots and lots of repetition. So I want to start these exercises now, even though we won't get to that point for a while. Once we do, we're already going to have some good body mechanics that's going to help us with the skill. So flutterflies, we're going to do a merengue, but we're going to start with just our arms. We're going to do those separately. And we'll do a few arms once we start moving, but I really want you to concentrate now on this movement that we just learned. So let's start with that. All right, arm is coming up. Upper arm is coming down to your head. And then it's sneaking down again, just down on your body and up to the side. And now we're taking the other one up. And the upper arm stays in place. And then the lower arm drops down. Nice little arm drops. Still have some wind. Maybe the other side. Side me back. Once more up. And arms dropping down. Other side. Other arm. Dropping that lower arm. Elbow in. And body. Good. And just up and down. And up again. And let's go to hips. And we're keeping our elbows forward. Good job, flare flies. So when we meet again on Monday, we're gonna do the 5-minute stretch. I think that's an excellent idea. Well, we'll see, because I don't want us to miss too much of our get ready for the day routine, but maybe we'll start with the stretching and do it abbreviated. Get ready for the day routine, because stretching is indeed just as important as all the other stuff. So you want to devote equal time to that, even though it's not necessarily the most interesting part. Super important, but if we do it together, it'll be more interesting. So, my flare flies, thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for all of you. And I'm sending you big love for the rest of the day. Bye-bye, flare flies. Jumping right back on for the intermediate.